after which price is expected to come down again. So I'm saying that this analysis is possible. I don't believe in it, and I certainly will not be making trading decisions upon this analysis. Okay, but let's see what this analysis is actually saying. If if we really get down to brass tacks, and let me just turn on a few VTLs. Okay, no, just the 40-day VTL and some LEs. Okay, and let me make that a little less cluttered by showing just those FLDs. Let's have a look at what this analysis is really saying when it comes down to it. It's all well looking at charts, but what does it all mean? Okay, and in here to the period since the end of March, and I'll do that on the other analysis that we're still going to speak about. This analysis is telling us that price is rising from the 10th of April trough into this 20-week projection box. Okay, so simple as that. What is the lower edge of that 20-week projection box? It is actually 44. It is 44.68. Is that correct? 44.68. Yes, that's right. That little box that pops up. I don't know if you can see those boxes that pop up. I think they are broadcast via Netview. It tells me that it is expected to be in the price range of 44.68 and above. So let's just do a bit of drawing on this chart. So in other words, we're expecting price to get above the lowest end of this box, and probably above 4,500, and ideally to the middle of that box, which is at a level of about 45.30, 45.35. Okay, so how close is price at the moment? Well, price at the moment is at 44.29. Okay, so in fact, this analysis is saying price doesn't have very much higher to go before it will have achieved this particular projection. Okay, if you've been making decisions a few weeks ago on the basis of this analysis, you probably would have made a profitable trade and you'd be feeling very happy about it. But certainly, taking a look at the analysis now, it's saying price is expected to go maybe a little bit higher and probably stay up there for a little bit longer, perhaps at least another 2 weeks. But then, of course, price is going to come down to a 20-week cycle, which is expected probably around about middle of August. So in very simple terms, this analysis is telling us that the market is expected to go up a little bit more maybe, okay, and then turn down and head down to a fairly prominent trough in the middle of August. All right, but now I've been presenting this analysis observations, and let me rather present you with the analysis that I believe is really a true analysis, a better analysis. And let me turn on the semicircles and show you what this better analysis tells us. First of all, it's got a 4.5-year cycle trough in March of 2009. Okay, that all looks good. What about the 3 18-month cycles? Well, as you can see, the 18-month cycles, the first one bounced over there, the second one bounced there and forms a trough, not on this day of fundamental interaction, but in line with the rest of the world markets on the 4th of October. And we are now rising out of the month cycle trough, which should be forming a peak fairly soon and then heading down again. Okay, so that's the sort of longer term picture, and now let's take a look at the near term picture. Okay, let me turn the semicircles off. They're always a bit ugly at that scale. And let me zoom back a little bit. There's that single day of interaction that I keep speaking about on the 9th of August, 2011. And here's the better placement for the trough in October, 4th of October 2011. There you can see them. Let's zoom in. So what's been happening since then? Well, according to this analysis, the market has risen up and then come down to a trough here of the 20-week cycle. It is now in the second 20-week cycle, okay, heading up towards a 20-week cycle peak, and I'll show you the projection boxes in a moment for that peak, after which it is expected to come down to a 40-week cycle trough. Okay, let's take a look at those projection boxes, because didn't mean to press that button. I meant to press that button. 20 week. Okay. Now, what's happening here? Well, if I move my mouse over there, Sentient Trader is saying that, in fact, the 20-week cycle should very soon, if it hasn't done so already, start moving down to the 20-week cycle trough. Is that very different to what the other analysis said? Not very different. The other analysis, you will remember, said that the market might have a little bit more upward movement in it, after which it's going to turn down into a 20-week cycle trough, which is expected around about the middle of August. Okay, this analysis is saying only one thing different. It's saying that that move has probably already started, or if not, it's going to start very soon. So it's pointless plotting a projection box over here, because that upward projection has been fulfilled. When does Sentient Trader stop presenting the upward projection for this move and move on to start presenting the downward projection only? It does it as soon as it believes that the upward projection has definitely been fulfilled. Okay? Once it's been fulfilled, there's no purpose in presenting you with that projection, because it's been fulfilled. Okay? How are these projections generated? They're generated by using FLDs and VTLs. And if we have a look at the FLDs and track all the projections that these FLD and price crosses would have generated, you will discover every single one of the FLD projections that was generated has been fulfilled already by price. Okay, and you can take a look at the detail if you go and have a look at your analysis summary panel and look at projections. You can read all about the projections and where they are projecting price will rise to and so on. Here's an example. A refined FLD projection created on the 29th of December last year projected a price rise of 441 points to 46.48 by the 27th of March this year. Okay, the closest price of that projection was 44.48, 4.3% short. Although the projection is overdue, okay, it is not yet being retired. Okay, so you can read about all kinds of different projections and so on and so forth, and you will probably find that most of the projections that Sentient Trader has generated have been fulfilled, which is why Sentient Trader is now saying price movement is about to happen to the downside. Okay, Jitendra says, do the diamonds appear after effect if the peak has been made? Should we not see the diamonds for confluence of the cycles? Okay, so that's an interesting question. Let me just turn off these and give us a clearer picture. These are bar cuts that I've got going here, so that we can look at what exactly is happening in the market, because in a moment we must decide what is about to happen in this market. So I think, Jitendra, before I answer that question, let me quickly just finish this train of thought in terms of what this analysis is saying. This analysis is saying that pretty much all the upward projections have been fulfilled. Okay, this market has moved pretty much as high as it's going to go. It doesn't mean it couldn't go a little bit higher, but the next thing that we are expecting to happen is shown very clearly with this projection box, which is a move into a 20-week cycle trough sometime late July or in early August. Okay, so both analyses are saying very much the same thing. It's merely a matter of timing, and the timing is only a week or two out between the two analyses. And in fact, the degree of price move is also not far out, because the first analysis I showed you reckoned that maybe this market had another 50 points in it to the upside. 50 points is not very much in this market. This market moves 50 points with ease in 2 or 3 days. Okay, sometimes even 1 day, it moves 50 points. So the other analysis said the market might move up another 50 points, which might be only another day or two's upward movement, after which it's going down again. Okay, and this analysis is saying the market's going down already. Okay, so the summary of both analyses, one analysis that I don't believe is very good, and this analysis that I believe is very good. Both analyses are telling you the same thing, effectively, that the market's about to go down. So I would, so again, I am suggesting that you exercise great caution. Let me just wrap this up before I answer Jitendra's question. How do we know when the market is going down? Or when should we think about getting into the market? Well, in order to do that, we need to look at FLDs, of course, and at VTLs. So now we have some interesting VTLs, a very interesting VTL pattern. When price crosses these VTLs, it tells us that peaks of various cycles have been formed in the price. Let's see if there's a 20-day VTL. Yes, there is a 20-day VTL. Now, when price crosses this 20-day VTL, which for tomorrow's trading, 20-day VTL, 20-day VTL upward. For tomorrow's trading, this VTL crosses at 4,400, so only 29 points below where price closed at the end of trading today. Price closed, according to the data I have, 44.29. If price drops by 29 points and goes below that, it will have crossed the 20-day VTL, which will tell us that a peak of the 40-day cycle has formed, which means that I think you need to be careful, because I think the Australian market is going to start heading down, and it might head down really quite fast. So I would I would recommend caution. Okay, yet again. Jitendra asked me a question about when does, if I understand the question correctly, when does Sentient Trader position these diamonds? Okay, in other words, when does it draw the diamonds? Okay, let me just go back a little bit. First of all, there are two different kinds of diamonds. There are solid diamonds and there are hollow diamonds. Solid diamonds are always diamonds in the past, which are absolutely confirmed according to this analysis. How do you confirm the position of a trough? Using Hurst cyclic principles and using the analysis process that Hurst taught in the cycles course, you confirm the position of a trough very simply by